It took us a few months to adapt. A few bad shocks too before we finished proofing the machinery against rain. I like to think it lends it all a little drama, no? Besides, how better to honor Helia than with invention?
That was all.
For now, nay?
Watcher, what a surprise to see you again.
Beneath the familiar pointed nose, Cateman Adzo grins. Achieve a careful balance between polite and sneering. His once round face has grown gaunter since you last saw him.
If the rioters in Defiance Bay knew he was here, they'd be on the next boat to Deadfire. The cargo, a rope, and torches.
I see we've all moved up in the world, haven't we? Taking an interest in the sciences?
Don't tell me they were stupid enough to put you in charge.
Regrettably, no. That honor goes to Flauna Elette, a charming young woman. Perhaps not as experienced as I, but I understand that the Songreta Mea Compressa is more comfortable with their own people in charge. We do fine work here. Not as personally fulfilling as my time in the sanitarium, but exciting in its way. The Huana have a much more forward-thinking stance on the sciences, so it's easier to find volunteers. Of which you are the latest, I hear. I look forward to working with you.
Stay out of trouble, Atzo.
Always.
He turns away from you with a final half-hearted wave of dismissal.
I realize this means very little to you, but I'm busy.
A steady white-haired elf frowns down the table covered with coiled coppers and wires and glimmering shards of Adra. Her gloved hands smooth her well-tailored Valiant coats as she mumbles under her breath. Apparently absorbing her word, the animancer doesn't acknowledge your presence. Excuse me? The woman spins on you, blinking rapidly behind a pair of brass-rimmed spectacles. Her bright carmine eyes and paper-white skin mark her as one of the Glenfallen.
Hello, my apologies. I didn't see you there.
Her Adrian bears a clear, crisp, but difficult to place accent. The pale elf examines you warily, unease clear in the set of her shoulders. Are you alright?
I am fine. Is there some reason I shouldn't be?
One of the pale eyebrow arches. She tugs her glove and looks away from you, calm, settle about her like a burial shroud.
Which is not to say I do not appreciate your concern. I do.
She settles her spectacle on her nose. As she does so, you notice her hands shaking.
I, like the other scholars here, am engaged in the study of the soul sciences. Was there something you needed, or may I return to my studies?
Her thin lips settle into the crooked smile. You burned yourself.
I had a mishap with my machinery, but all is well now. The details are unimportant.
Okay.
I wish only to return to my studies. In any case, why are you here?
Any interest in getting out of the tower or for some field study? She blinks at your offer, then puts a finger to her lip, clearly considering her next
I
words.
think, perhaps, that I would be grateful for the opportunity.
Why do you want to travel?
I have a vested interest in Luminous Audra, but acquiring it here can be expensive. You have a ship of your own and are clearly well-traveled. I suspect I would encounter more Luminous Audra with you than I would on the streets of Nekataka.
Welcome aboard.
Truly?
She blinks, her mouth hanging half open.
I just know we're gonna be the best of friends.
Zoe thrusts her hand out to enthusiastically shake Yidwin's.
Thaklat, traveler. I am grateful.
She claps her hand in hers, pumps it quickly, and then release. After a quick pat down of the various pockets sewn into her coat, Yidwin's not happily and rests hand on her hilt of her rapier.
I have all that I need. We may depart at your leisure.
Her lips curl into a copious smile, and she says no more. Mind Stalker, Cipher, and a Rogue. Nope, just a Cipher. Well, I already have a Cipher. Right? Yeah, I already have a Cipher. Well, let's have her as multi-class. Oh gosh. Which one I hate? Which one doesn't really contribute much is him. He doesn't. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of him. Actually, if I'm gonna have a Cipher, then I'm gonna take that instead. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yes.
At your service.
Yes?
Oh, she doesn't have a reputation. She's not a real companion. Well, shit. Alright, I'm gonna have to go and grab him back then. I need real companions.
Supplies, get supplies here.
Hello, Watcher. Fancy a look at this stock? Straight from the laboratory. Have a look.
2 to alchemy. 33% chance to cast boiling spray at enemy when the wearer is critically hit in melee. Burn armor grants teleport to a location. Animancy cat. Metaphysics. I'm sorry, but that's a cat. I might not spend $9,000 on gold. I mean, on actual upgrades for my character, but I will goddamn spend $9,000 on a goddamn cat. You hear me? Give me that goddamn cat.
I'll take care of it.
Consider, friend, the blessings of the priests are priceless, but so too is good sense. I have supplies here, so that daring travelers may live to honor the gods. Certainly.
Payment for heads. It could be no simpler, I say.
And Juana turns and look you up and down. She holds his motionless pose for a long and contemptuous silence. Finally, she draws out a single pyre and balances the coin on her knuckles.
Tell me, are you someone who walks the path that coin lays out before you?
She arches a finger in a wave, causing the coin to flip from one knuckle to the next. She seems enraptured by the motion. I've always served the highest bidder.
Akira, you understand better than most. Transmuting actions into payment is the alchemy that orders our world. All things turn on the axis of a coin bond.
She touches her brow with her free hand, and she says the word. Her coin continues its winning journey uninterrupted.
I pay bounties so that death can bring order to life. Would you help me continue the cycle?
Maybe. You tap your coin before it vanishes into... Or you thought you did. Closer inspection reveal your hand is empty. A curse smile and hold your gaze.
The next time payment crosses our hands, let it be in the execution of a bond. A vow. A bounty.
Holding the coin in 2 fingers, she lays it flat on your palm and leaves it there. What bounties do you have available?
If you would forge a coin bond, I know of people on these islands who must die. Their fate is already decided. The coin wishes only to collect. Dugra the Ascetic is wanted for crimes against his monastic order. His people have made a coin bond for his death.
She holds a pyre and a lovely inspecting edge running along the index finger along a curve.
The Orlan wanders the wilderness on the island of Crookspur, northwest of Nekataka.
She closes her fist around the pyre. Before I go, I had some questions.
Speak freely, I say.
Do you have any other hobbies?
I am a paladin of the Gold-Packed Order. Since taking my oath, I have never been absent of work and duty for longer than an afternoon.
She stands rigid and raises her fist over her heart, but something in her manner softens.
I also enjoy knitting on occasion. The coin bond is patient. I will be here when you are ready.
More bounties.
Incense? Offerings for the temple? Shining God, light your path, stranger. Can I interest you in any of our wares? We gathered what we could. Much of our coin goes towards feeding those in need over at the temple.
Sure, I'll have a look.
Thank you, ma'am.
8 fireballs in that. The Sacred Stair. What is that? Oh. Oh, that leads to the Temple of Gone. You find a man middle years inspecting a metal tool unlike you've ever seen. He has several similarly strange items in his belt, all quite clean and orderly. They look like the tools one might use to pull a tooth or a shoe on a horse, but much more delicate. He wears pristine cream-colored robes. The muzzle of an arquebus is visible over his shoulder. His eyes brighten when he notices you. The man's robes shimmer with a faint trace of arcane energy. Glyphs stitched to the beams and sleeves seems to trace source of the effect.
Good day, traveler. I see you've taken an eye to my instruments. If you've any interest in the medical sciences, you need only ask. Well then, questions?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm a researcher in the medical sciences. And before you ask, no, I don't mean animancy. Neither do I mean magic, nor, gods forbid, necromancy. Medicine. Study of the kith body, its inner workings and such. I've misgivings about magic use. It's useful, I'll grant you that. But it's a crutch. Stunts our scientific development, you understand. Makes me a bit unpopular, as you can no doubt imagine. Which is why I've got this arquebus here.
What do you mean by unpopular?
A patient of mine died under questionable circumstances. One morning they were fine, and the next they were dead. Someone is trying to discredit my work, I just know it. But they won't succeed. I came here to the archipelago to evade my rival's attempts at sabotage. And there certainly is quite a lot of work in the Deadfire, I must tell you. I'm a researcher. I've misgivings. You would have one too if you'd experience a patient. I came here to the archipelago. I've told you of my troubles. I suppose it's the least I can do. Settle in now. I've got a lecture prepared for just this occasion. Of course, it will cost you 3,000 copper.
Enhanced alchemy and religion. I'll take it.
Ah, lovely.
He demonstrates several techniques for splinting and suturing wounds. Once he is sure you got it, he runs you through a diagram depicting a sundry herb indigenous to the Deadfire and various healing applications. Finally, he goes on to some length about the nature and faith of the scientific inquiry. When he is certain you've learned all you can, he claps on your shoulder and sends you away, smiling gentle admonishment to study more. You've learned some more stuff. Yay! A Forsaken cat. Why is it forsaken?
Leave it to me.
No more. No more is it forsaken. It now belongs to me. +1 to all fire keyworded power levels. Okay, so fire spells. Well, I don't know how a cat gives me bonuses to fire spells, but
I'll see it.
A Magrite priest has the build of a boulder. His thickest frame stretches his fine robes at the seams. He regards you with a steady, calm gaze, nodding in greeting.
Be welcome. We gather to honor the goddess, for we must earn the strength to endure the darkest of life's battles.
Magrite and I aren't on the best of terms.
Do you believe so? It is not in might alone that Margran holds influence. There is purpose, conviction, achievement. You may honor her in many ways.
This is your temple.
Akira, rain and wind is a better teacher than any priest. A fighter accustomed to comfort earns only bruises. Each obstacle is a challenge we must answer. These are whetstones that sharpen us into fine blades.
I didn't expect to see somebody foreigner at a temple.
It is an opportunity to learn. What good is a fighter who knows how to defend against a single enemy? If we must one day fight one another, such is Margran's will.
Which way to the palace? The priest breaks his mild worm, but there's little amusement in it.
Follow the path as it climbs the mountain, all the way to the Serpent's Crown. You will see it.
So I've still only got this, the Sepulchre, and the Temple of Gone. So let's go to the Temple of Gone. Why not?
So it is you. I could not think of a reason why your ghost should haunt the Deadfire, save to haunt me. And that smacks of arrogance.
Arctic smiled quickly at you, something in which causes the soldier behind him to regard you with bemused curiosity.
Sister.
Arctic turns towards Zoti, bowing his head. Zoti tried not to preen. Arctic gestures and the soldier turns away. He steps closer in towards you as if to share a conspiratorial whisper, but you notice that he is looking elsewhere behind you, around you.
And why do these spirits follow you? More blood on your hands? We were never friends, I know, but when they told me your keep was destroyed, I was sorry to think that you were dead.
I was dead. Birith brought me back.
The gods have a purpose for you. That much has always been clear.
Arctic seems to be speaking entirely in earnest. There's a trace of envy in his voice.
When the priest spoke of Aethys' return, I volunteered to come, along with a few of my men. I think the Morning Council was content to have me out of the way. That's putting it all very simply. But then, I suspect few of us have simple reasons for coming to the Deadfire.
I'm here to conquer the Deadfire for Direwood. I think I'll build my next keep here.
So, his
shit! I pressed the wrong button.
Your faith as well. I think for once I am content to wait. If our God wishes to speak with us, wishes anything of us, he will give us a sign. The priests pray daily for it.
Aethys is killing people wherever he goes. I have to stop him.
Stop him?
Arctic glances at Dur.
Plan is to ask him real nicely.
I see. I will say only that this too must have a purpose. The Shining God would not bring such destruction without cause. Yet, if this were punishment for our failure, surely he had worthier targets.
Still fretting about your watcher abilities? Arctic jaw tenses and he looks away, shifting uncomfortably.
I don't know. I came here on a pilgrimage of a kind. Nekataka is full of spirits. And the sea, where to begin?
Self-loathing is a blight on the soul, Adaric. Don't make your journey through hell darker than it has to be.
You're right, of course, sister.
Arctic stands up and straighter as if scolded. He shifts uncomfortably, his gaunt face drawn.
You are a watcher still, yet you are neither mad nor killed. It's good to see.
I found the man behind my awakening and put my past lives to rest.
The cure you sought, and which I was weak enough to doubt. See, there. Determination will win out every time. And now you are on to new challenges.
Sorry, Adric. I lost your sword along with my castle.
That sword was only meant to keep you alive through your ordeal. It's fulfilled its purpose.
What news of Rikiris?
Each missive from the Deadfire raises new tumult. Some believe our Lord restored, while others doubt. We've done penance for many long years. None of us know what forgiveness ought to look like.
It doesn't seem like Aethys has his mind on forgiveness these days.
See you around, Adric.
Take care, and may the Shining God light your way. I've never seen a temple like. Take care.
It's you.
Here's where I do the ritual. Right there under the statue of Gon.
A baiting cat. That dog is still the best. As you approach the wood of Strachan over the altar of Gon, her robes mark her as High Priestess. She arches and cracks her back roundly, satisfied grin spreading across her face soon after.
Jody, I do hope you are not getting into trouble now.
Who, me? No, I wouldn't dream of it.
She smiles in the sight of a stranger. I'm hoping the children of the Dawnstar can help with the Roparo's food shortage. She dips her head, considering.
We tried. Shipped some shares for charity. God, it's nearly 2 years back. Had the means to do some real good. But the guards wouldn't have it. Sent it all to the palace to be shared out, proper-like. Never did see it again.
What if I could ensure it won't reach the Roparo? It would reach the Roparo.
Of course. We'd be glad to lend a hand. But how'll you see our shares reach the Ruparu this time? What makes you think it'll work now when it didn't then?
I'll work to gain the audience with the Queen and petition her to allow your charity.
Alright. You wind up in the good graces of the Kahanga Royals, you get them to see the light, and I'll get you our food.
Sweet.
It is the light that has led you here.
You must be getting a lot of people in here these days.
Oh, yes. People are afraid, angry. Change can be frightening. But what did any of us come here for, if not a new beginning?
Doesn't this place get a little damp?
No more than anywhere else. No sense fighting it. The water sustains our faith, surely as it does these trees.
You're a devotee of Gon. What about Aethys under other manifestations?
Gon's the only one that matters.
Sodi scoffs. Selwyn shut her eyes, exhales sharply, and then opened them again to regard you with a patient smile.
The Shining God's got many faces, but they're all his to wear. Divine King Widewind, he saw the dawn stars, telling him of things to come. But it's gone with sickle and lantern that's come to the Deadfire. Our God's returned, and he's gonna bring balance to the world. He's gonna right all the wrongs we have suffered. Gon will bring a new beginning for all of us when that hour comes.
We're looking for someone. She may have come through here years back.
We receive followers of the Shining God every day. You might want to speak with Nordegand over there.
She points her finger to the right.
She's been here the longest, and takes care to know everyone of our faith.
Here for a meal? Just get in line, dear. Ain't no trick to it.
Hey, there's a lady I'm looking for. Came from Deerwood.
Adair waves a hand toward the old woman's face as though expecting a cataracts she does not appear to have.
Short, got a bad temper. It goes by Alava Mazzy. Heard of her?
I know an Alava, but that ain't a surname.
No?
Adair's jaw shifts sideways to gnaw on his pipe stem.
Not real warm, that one. Stop by unannounced, you get a pistol up your nose when she answers the door.
Sounds like she was expecting you, Adair.
Yeah, that's her. So, she's living with her, husband, then?
Not that I noticed.
Adair exhales a surprising amount of air.
Huh. Must be laying low.
Just that boy of hers.
Adair's body goes perfectly still. It seems to waver in the breeze.
She's got a son? How old would you say? Like a little boy?
Groaning, Zoti pulls her hair forward over her face as if she can hide it from the moment. Oh, this is getting good.
Oh, I couldn't say. It's been years. He must be a young man by now.
Wow, that's something. Well, thanks for your help.
Don't you want to know where to find her?
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
She's in Hasongo, last I heard. Got a little plot of land out there.
I guess we'll look that way then. Much obliged.
May Aethys's light shine upon you.
Hungry? Come on up. Don't be shy.
Actually, I'd like to make a donation.
The Shining God will bless you for it, ma'am. That coin will help those in need. Blessing of Aethys upon you.
I can't believe it. Is that really you?
Wertrin. Solid meals, decent sleep have filled Wertrin's lean frame out somewhat, but the man retains a fox-like aspect around the face. He greets you with an indecisive smile, unsure whether or not to be nervous or pleased.
And Adair, you made it out of Gilded Vale for good then. I'm glad.
A lot more might have made it out if you hadn't left them for dead.
And her fist clenched and unclenched several times.
I haven't forgotten. It's why I'm here, Adair.
Wertrin does meet Adair's eyes. It takes visible effort for him to meet yours. Wertrin, what are you doing here?
Things got rough for us back in Gilded Vale, even after the Hollowborn curse ended. Didn't feel like I was doing much good there. Or anywhere. Not until I caught word about the Dawn Stars. Blazes, I tossed and turned about it. I figured there couldn't be a clearer sign. So now I'm doing what I can. Handing out food mostly, or delivering supplies. Familiar work, I guess. Took some getting used to, working shoulder to shoulder with Raid Sarens, but it's not so hard as you'd think. Feels like I'm on the right path. Toward a little piece of redemption, maybe?
I guess everyone's chasing after Aethys this day.
You too, eh? Guess we're all making up for something. Would be nice to get some answers, maybe. Or forgiveness for getting his people killed. I don't know.
So long as you have some fun once in a while.
Peace of mind or something close. That's good enough for me.
Wertrin flashes you a final crooked smile, then incline his head to bow.
Good luck out there.
Rubbing her back of her neck self-consciously, Zoti casts her gaze to the side.
Nothing like a homecoming to make a girl remember her roots, even if they are dried up and half dead.
She sighs, nudging a bit of mud in her boots before she lifts her face to settle with you on her big dark brown eyes.
Sometimes I wonder if my brethren don't think I got black ichor running in my veins.
People often fear what they don't understand.
Suppose they do. Suppose sometimes people do bad things in the name of their gods. But my brethren do more good than bad, and more good than most. Besides, I often don't understand you, Watcher, but I ain't afraid of you.
She ducks her head and hides a smile, but her eyes never leave your face. They glint with a mischievousness. Well, that's reassuring.
Is it? Sakes alive.
Her cheek flushed brightly.
You shouldn't be so fine to me, Watcher. Makes me think untoward things. Gives me notions I don't need to be getting. I can't risk straying when I got a duty to gone.
Speaking of gone,
Yeah,
she cants her head to the side.
lay it on me.
Well, why are you gathering the souls in your lantern?
I was born to reap souls and lead them to the light. Now with Aethys dead, and these dire visions, I think I need to shield them from a hell gone dark. But the more I gather, the more my mind turns to tatters.
Well, the Beyond hasn't gone dark. It's well lit with living Adra.
Not yet, no. But soon.
Subconsciously, she clutched tighter the hilt on her sickle.
Gone has shown me the coming end.
What if you didn't collect any more souls?
That ain't gonna happen.
Gritting her teeth, she shoots you an incredulous expression.
You'd ask me to turn my back on my god?
The Dawn Stars are all about goodness and light. Why are you so concerned about death and darkness?
Why do you think the god of rebirth held an aspect of death within him? You can't have life without dying. There ain't no beginning without a prior ending. Ain't no day without night, no spring without fall. You can't grow crops if you never harvest for seeds.
True. We came here to cleanse your soul.
All right. Yeah, I'm ready. I've done this before, but never with such a full lantern. You may want to stand back. The experience can be somewhat intense.
Kneeling before the statue of Gon, Zoti set her lantern between her knees, head bowed. She pressed both palms to the copper cage. A low chant lilts from her lips. Lilts from her lips? What kind of word is lilts? Ugh. As it grows louder, the light from her lantern grows brighter, as does the lantern that the statue of Gon holds in one skeletal hand. The two light pulses in rhythm with the chant resonating with each other, twin heartbeats that pounds faster and stronger until the light of Gon lanterns bursts onward into the shower of violet-hued rays. The essence bathes Zoti's bent form, making her jolt upright as cry escapes her.
Don't know if I feel cleaner, but I feel something. Blessed for sure.
Zoti offers you a half smile and then retrieves her lantern, trembling fingers curling against the gleaming metal cage.
Let's just hope it lasts. Cause my lantern feels as heavy as ever. Full to brimming with essence. Like dark water spilling over my mind.
Let's be off.
Alright, I'll be right behind you. Happy to oblige.
After waking dreams, Zoti sways on her feet, muscle quivering. Watch her hallucinate?
Reckon that's the first time I ever bore witness to my own demise. It was not pretty.
She worries her bottom lip with her teeth.
Never woke with such a driving need for reaping before. It's making my hands shake.
Didn't the cleansing work?
It did for a while, but then it wore off. All this essence I've gathered, it soaked the blessing right up. Left me with hardly none.
You're losing your light to the darkness. Rekindle it by helping the living.
You sound like my high priestess Samhain. She never shuts up about the living, when she ought to worry more about the dead. Seems the more souls I gather, the better I see Gon's will. And the less I get a wink of sleep.
Your nightmares are getting worse.
Night or day, sleep or waking. It's getting harder to tell what's real from what's just yet to come. There is something I'm meant to do, though. Once I gather enough souls. Us Gonites, we're supposed to shepherd lost souls, not just gather them. The harvesting's only the first part. If I were to dump the souls, it might make me dream less, like before. Or, darn it, who knows? Maybe it'd just make it all worse. Either way, I've got to find my purpose.
She turns her face away from them, bottom lip trembling slowly. Her finger reaches for the hem of your shirt. She rubs the pads of her fingers over it, holding you to the lightest of touches.
Will you help me, Watcher?
I do anything for you, Zodi. Her happiness wormhole face is a bright flush prickle over her skin.
I was hoping you might would. Sometimes I feel like, with you by my side, I can stand against gods.
We'll find an Adra vein and release your burden. It's the best way to ensure the soul reach the beyond.
It'll need to be a potent source to overpower the draw of my lantern. It's gotta be luminous for sure.
She nods, nearly devising a plan of action.
That's one problem solved. But what about the itty-bitty issue regarding the god of rebirth not actually being in hell? The souls will make it safely, but who's to see to their proper reseeding? This is a huge risk of Aora's balance. You really trust Malgrin not to rebirth Aethasians as warriors of the flame? Think Galawain won't be greedy? Gone aside, the god's past actions don't instill me with the greatest confidence.
Well, that's not for you to decide. Rebirth is a divine issue, meant to be sorted out between the gods.
You're saying I ought to have more faith.
She rubbed the calloused knuckle against the heated tinge spreading her over her cheek.
Doubt's unbecoming of a priestess, and distrust is downright sinful. You're right. I ought to deliver as many souls to hell as I can, before it's too late. We need to empty my lantern right away. Gods, but you're clever. This is why Gon directed me into your path. I just know it.
She nods once before turning away. If I were to locate a luminous Adra pillar, Zoti could release the souls gathering. I saw the important Mage burning under the arena.
Of course.
Uh-huh. How might I help you?
Yes? As you wish.
Hey, look who it is.
I'm all ears. Tell me what's on your mind. They're there, and sometimes it's time I...
You have questions? Ikera, I have answers.
The Kanga royalty seems to be very taken with you.
Between the crown and the guild, Nekataka has high hopes for Ngati's chosen son, I say.
Teheku smooths back his hair with both hands and he gathers his thoughts.
If Ngati had not blessed me, I say the goddess touched me for more than enriching one tribe, glorifying one island.
I can tell you don't want to be anyone's savior.
Ikera, yes.
Draco draws in a deep breath and nods, savoring your word.
I say there is me, Tekehu, and there is the Tekehu others would make like a coconut husk doll.
You mean the one people would play with?
Anyone with the strength to pick me up may play with me, friend Shouty.
Teheku winks at her.
The more I try to be the Tekehu I know I am, the harder I am constrained. What say?
He brings up his gaze to meet yours. No one should pressure you to be something you're not.
But it is the adoring people who made Tekehu the savior of the tribes.
He shrugs, sighing.
Many think that I have a duty to the Huana. I say I am the only one unconvinced.
I'm the Lady of Cat Noir, but you don't see me rebuilding my keep.
Akira, just so.
The side of his mouth twitches. Hesitating is first, Takehu enveloped your hand into his. The scale along his palm both prickly and warm. Just as it seemed to break away, instead he leans in closer.
I know how I seem. We did not have this word conceded before Adirans landed on the Isles. If Ngati had not touched me, I wonder if anyone would care.
Takehu seems ready to say more. He stops himself and releases you from his grip. The world around you darkens, and once again you feel an incessant tug on your attention, pull centering from Takehu's soul. Surrender to this sensation. I can't fight against a god. There's no point. Once again, you find yourself on Andra's waterlogged hall tower of power. The tired swaying of bioluminescent chandelier casts uneven rays of light down on her court.
Poor boy. He has it backward, as usual.
A silky, distant voice asserts itself into your thoughts.
I did not choose him so that he could do great things. I chose him because talent should be fostered toward any end.
Sadness and regret creep into her tone, but something about them rings falsely into your ear.
How fortunate that you are here to set him on the right path. I know you won't disappoint.
You hear her smile. You hear her smile with her words.
Apologies. I say I'd never miss an opportunity to talk about myself.
The president withdraws, leaving you unsteady on your feet, oblivious. Takehu offers a broad, showy smile. I have some questions.
You have questions? Akira, I have answers.
I want to ask about Prince Aruhui interest in the black market.
Akira, what say?
Oh, that's it? Okay,
you have
then.
questions? Akira, I have answers. Captain, a word?
Takehu's eyes widen in proportion to his smile. What's on your mind?
You came to the Deadfire for your own reasons. The problems of others, they must be noisy obstacles by comparison. We both know the burden of being looked to as a source of hope. What say?
It isn't a problem until the gods start making demands.
And you wish for a moment of silence to dampen the rabble.
You look like you want to get something off your chest.
Akira, just so. All the powers of the Deadfire have their eyes on the Watcher of Cadnua. Tell me, is the Watcher watching anyone?
He tips his head coyly to the side, letting his hair drape down with a moist squish. Just you, pretty fish.
For once, Ngati answers my prayers. Captain, I would speak plainly. Are you as excited by the possible? What I mean is, if we were to...
Takehu clears his throat and studies you, his eyes wide and imploring. Let's say I'm intrigued. Speak on.
If such things interest you, my last haphazard coupling was not so long ago. In Nekataka, in fact.
He chuckles to himself. Sounds like you have a story to tell.
Akira, I am the hope and destiny of my people. My heart is full of stories. She was a godlike. One of Amira's brood. Her hair is neat and orderly as a raven's wing.
Takehu reaches into his pack, pulls out a black feather. He draws his finger down the fiber, smiling in remembrance.
We found each other in the market and made ourselves comfortable behind a fishmonger's stall. She left me this as a keepsake.
He sighs, holding the feather up at the light.
I never knew her name. Now I do not have to suffer the pangs of forgetting it.
Sighing, he lets the feather fall from his hand. A light breeze carries it away. That was some fast seduction on your part.
Well, it helps when both parties are beautiful, full of desire, and have no afternoon plans. I was expected at the guild hall, but one must have their priorities.
Didn't you want to keep that?
Most desperately. But I do not cage love or force it to be anything but itself. A bird fluttered away. She was not mine to keep.
If you're trying to charm me, talking about your past lover is a strange way to do it.
Charm? Oh, not so, Captain. I would have you know me by my impulses, my desires. These are Tekehu as much as the living god.
Let's be off so I can let that story play out in my head some more.
As you say, Captain. I do not want you to misunderstand. I am a sea anemone, hungry and eager to close around stimulation. I would draw you in with care, with patience.
He raises his brow and studies you, looking for a reaction. Huh. I was thinking the exact same thing about you.
Akira, then may we put up a merry chase for each other.
He looks you up and down, thumbing his chin, appreciating what he sees.
We could blunt our teeth on more idle chatter, but I cherish the suspense. Come.
He tips his head and indicates the path before you. Surrender to the sensation, of course.
I want better for him than you.
Nagati, great bulbous eyes narrow to pinpricks. More is left unspoken, but you feel your lungs constrict as salt water fills your nose. The world once again reasserts itself, the sensation of moisture and that pulling away some resistance. Takeo fans his hand over his mouth and yawns. I had other questions.
What say, Captain?
You know what? Let's just take it slow and just go back to being shipmates, you know?
Captain, of course, as you say.
Crease form across the otherwise soft brow.
We were pleasant while we lasted, were we not?
Chuckling even so, he turns away and wipes at the corner of his eye. Surrender the sensation. Once again, you find your unhallowed court, blah, blah, blah. The thorn pitted you awake, boat lifting you suggest was occupied only moments ago.
You hurt him. You hurt my boy.
You spin around, face wobbling, her jaws opening wide enough to encompass the totality of your vision. Someone is being a little bit overprotective.
What?
Her eyes widen, the glistening surface seeming broad and wide to cover the very archipelago.
Ungrateful, unloving creature. I should let the maw of the Deadfire close around you.
Her eyes narrow, the lamp hanging between them goes dim.
Pray to another god that you sail faster than my wrath.
She makes twisting gestures with her hands, swirling ambient water into the vortex that spins itself around the surface, reaching up to endless fathoms. The eye of the storm narrow with intense, concentrated hate.
What say, Captain?
Huh.
Of course.
You have my attention.
Someone
You have questions? Akira, I have answers.
needs to chill.
Well, I'll take care of it.
She says I'm not good enough for him, but then I dump him, and then she's all mad that I got rid of him.
How I've been saying there's nothing more important to me than us freeing you from Bereth's bonds?
Uh-huh.
Well, I meant that. I did.
And their breath lingers on his chest, and his mouth hanging ajar, throwing his statement into immediate doubt.
But there's this other thing I need to see about. On the way, like. I was gonna tell you.
Well, it was about love. You don't have to explain.
Thanks. I'm not sure I could anyway. This woman, well, love's not the right word. But she was something to me once, back in Gilded Vale.
He pauses.
Once Theos was gone, there wasn't much keeping me in Deerwood. Thought I'd be happier in Adir, where my folks had gone. It was nice seeing them again. Been almost since the war, but I didn't belong. Found I couldn't talk to anyone. Not just because of the funny way Adirans talk. Over there, across the ocean, it's like nothing I'd been through ever happened. Not the war, not the legacy. Even my parents missed most of it. And I'm glad about that. But all we had to talk about was stuff from when I was a boy. Then, I thought of somebody I knew I could talk to. Maybe the last person. And just like that, I was back on a boat, going the other way. Last I saw her, she was going to New Hayamar. Went looking for her there, only to find that she'd left a long time ago. Anyway, I don't expect you to understand, but I gotta know she ended up all right.
Sound like she ended up with a son?
Yeah, that's something. Coming out of Deerwood during that time. When I knew her, she had another little boy, just a baby. But the legacy deprived him of a proper life. I never found out what happened to him. But with the Hollowborn, you didn't have to ask. Guess he got a brother, though.
Adair falls quiet, blinking several times before noting your continued presence. You're sure you want to know where this leads?
No, but I don't see a way to let this go. Least a way's not now. Last time I saw Alava, we got friendly. Now she's got a son.
Adair's shrug is rigid, his smile at least half winks. Well, let's get moving. All right.
I dare you to go inside.
No! Tangaloho will eat me!
Huh. Wonder where that's going. Jeez. So many quests. Oh, I can do it by location. Oh my god. Oh, right. Well, there's... okay. Dude, my location is amazing. Okay. All right. Well, let's save. Well, that's like 6 hours of streaming since like 3 a.m. So I'm gonna go to sleep. Yeah, that was fun. Can't wait to keep playing. That's all I'm gonna have to say.